All right, so this is the very first trip that I made. It's mostly banker boxes and a few of my larger unopened sets that I have. I packed it pretty well. I could have packed it more, but I didn't want to block my view too much. But this is all stuff that's mostly not fragile, so it's like small unopened sets or various small like vehicles and stuff are in a lot of these banker boxes. And then there's also like my road plates, retaining walls, train track, you know, things like that that I'm not too concerned about falling apart. But you can see it's pretty well packed in here. I got quite a bit of stuff. It's just lots and lots of boxes, and luckily Lego's pretty light, so they're not too hard to manage. So I'm gonna unload this, and then my next trip is gonna be some other boxes, and I'm gonna try to start moving some of my parts bins. Trip number 2 is my sorting bins. So these are the Sterilite drawers that sit inside the best of frames that I use. So my thought here is to put them all mostly flat in the bed of the minivan so that they don't shift too much. They're packed pretty tight. And I'm gonna put some lightweight Lego boxes on top of this just to kind of pack it all in and keep it all tight together. So we'll see how this makes it. And I have boxes on the sides there where there's air space between the door and the bins. I need to put something over there as well. But yeah, we'll see how this one makes it. So I will be back in a few with the results. Wish me luck. Well, success. Everything made it in one piece. None of these bins have tipped over or dumped. So my strategy really paid off here. Now I just have to get them in the house without spilling or dumping any of them. But yeah, this really worked well. So just the key here is just to pack these things as flat on the ground and just pack extra boxes around them. And it looks like there was like hardly any shifting, and I just drove really slowly. Those side buffers did help though, because there were a couple sharp turns where I could feel things starting to shift a little bit, but in the end, everything made it okay. So, looking good. All right, so this trip is the frames for my sorting bins, but I figured out I can utilize the airspace inside, the dead space here. And so I'm putting some of my ships, Jabba's Palace, and some of my castle sets inside. And actually in the far one is the roller coaster, which I'll try to get a video of that when I get to the destination. So I'm using up all the available space because they should be pretty secure in here, because there'll be another frame right here, so they won't be able to move around. So I'm trying to maximize space wherever I can. We'll see how this load makes it. Everything made it from the last one, so that was good. So hopefully everything will make it in this trip. Wish me luck. All right, so here's the aftermath of the trip. Just a couple little pieces fell off. Overall, I think it worked pretty well. Oh, looks like the cockpit of the Tandem 4 got smashed as well. But overall, looks pretty good. All right, so this is about halfway through, I think, at this point. So things are going well so far. Slow and steady wins the race today. Okay, sometimes you just improvise on the fly. And so while I was moving the frames, I came up with this idea. I said, you know, this is a lot of good empty space in here where it's kind of solid, and you can get all these modulars packed in here with minimal shifting because it's a pretty tight fit. And so that's exactly what I've done. Is I loaded up all the modulars in these 2 frames. I have a couple odds and ends, and Ninjago stuff didn't quite make it, but I think I'm actually gonna leave these in the car and go get more ships and modulars and whatnot on the next trip, because I think this is, look at this, is really effective, and I think it's gonna transport really well. So if you have IKEA frames and you're moving, these things work out pretty good. We'll see how it works on the flip side, but I'm thinking this is the way to go. All right, I'll be back. Success. Everything made it all in one piece. Just a few very minor little things fell off. Actually, I was so excited I forgot to film. I already emptied this one, but there was only just a couple very minor little bits that fell off. This is definitely a good way to transport stuff. These best of frames, you know, hold 8 full-size modulars and 2 half modulars. So for definitely a good way to go if you can do it, and if you need to move, and if you happen to have an extra frame laying around. So I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm gonna get all this stuff inside and I'll be back. So as you can see, everything pretty much made it in one piece. Modulars, the Falcon, even the ships over here that you see over my shoulder, they all pretty much made it in one piece. So I was really lucky. Now, granted, my move was kind of local and it was just in town. It was a 12-minute drive to the new house, but there were still a few dicey situations. The Millennium Falcon was an interesting story because actually I brought that in a special trip and actually I forgot to film it. But I had placed it inside the frames that I was using and I drove it all by itself and actually ended up like holding it by the cockpit at the top because I left it on the stand. I didn't want to put it flat because I was worried it was going to do too much damage in the drive. So I just left it on the stand, put it in the frame, and I actually had to hold it because it was a little top heavy as I was like starting and going in the car, even though I was going slow. But even the Falcon made it. So I hope you guys find this useful, and hopefully, I know a lot of you said you're going to be moving soon. So hopefully you can find some good tips in here and what worked for me. And I hope you guys all have good moves, or hopefully you'll never have to move your Lego city or Lego collection, because it is a lot and it's a huge ordeal. But you can see I'm slowly getting set up in the room here, and I'm going to be back real soon with an update on the room and the progress. So thanks for watching.